All right, guys. So this is how I lost just about 500 bucks today. I think we lost like 480 roughly. But basically, pretty solid trade. This is the sixth loss basically in a row. So solid losing streak here, chilling. I would take this trade again. This was a very solid trade. I'm not mad at this loss at all. I already going into this trade, I it's right at the end of my window to trade, and I knew that if I took a loss on this, I would not be mad because it was a solid, I want to say 9 out of 10 trade. I don't know if it's a 10 out of 10 just from the only thing would be like NASDAQ at all-time highs and we being in an uptrend on like the hourly. So, I mean, I would say a 9 out of 10 trade. It was pretty solid. So, basically market open. Just delete that for now. Market opened and we got basically just moves up right away. We didn't get any sweeps to the downside. My original bias was longs, and we had all of these highs to sweep out. Okay. We had all these highs that we could have swept out here on ES, that is NASDAQ. It was almost at all-time highs. So there wasn't very much to do with that, but for ES at least I wanted these highs to get taken out. So we did. When the market opened and we, as you can see, first candle, we didn't get anything to the downside. We just went straight up and we continued going up. We took out a lot of these highs right here. Okay. And then we started moving down. I thought, okay, here maybe we'll get we got this sweep here. Maybe we didn't sweep that last one, but maybe we'll get something of a setup to go short because there's no chance for me to go long unless there's a 15-minute at least sweep, and there wasn't. Yeah, so there was the 15-minute sweep was all the way down here, so we obviously did not get that. So no chances for longs for me today, even though I wanted longs. And then we got this move down. I was like, okay, we inverse fair value gap on NASDAQ. Even we broke 5-minute structure. And then we basically tapped into this range 5-minute and 15-minute fair value gaps. Same thing here, tapped into some fair value gaps. And then from there, it just kept going up. Did not retrace, gave me the setup that I needed. It instead swept the last high that was left on NAS or ES. Geez, NASDAQ was at all-time highs up here, so there wasn't any targets. And then there's like a couple other targets for ES up here. So basically, at that point, I'm like, okay, I'm fine with not even taking a trade unless for some reason I actually get a solid setup here. And we did, in fact, get that setup. So we got the sweep, the final sweep here before we'd be going to these higher ones. We got that sweep, as you can see here, sweep of the liquidity. Move these lines so there's less on here. Got the liquidity sweep of that last straw. And then we got 5-minute inverse fair value gap put in. So we use that instead of the 5-minute break of structure. Got that put in. Went through that, and then we got 5-minute retrace. Didn't hit equilibrium, but we did end up hitting the fair value gap, or the inverse, I mean. So that was all that we needed. And then I think, yeah, we entered we're on this wick. So after that got put in, we're already technically in a 1-minute bearish structure. I mean, we did inverse this gap. And then right at that last candle, we inversed this other gap. So looking really bearish. I mean, I don't think I could ask for a better setup on this. This was just peak. So 1-minute high, second 1-minute high there. And then target would have been, first target was this 15-minute low, 2.8 R roughly. We had a limit order in. We didn't enter right at this candle because we had this double inverse basically, and I knew that was going to get retapped, which it did. So we had a limit order here and we got a very good fill. So basically, entered basically right there, and it was a peak entry. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I couldn't have asked for better. Like I said, the only thing is the high time frame bias, having NASDAQ in all-time highs and being originally bullish anyways. Those are the only conflicting things. It was 9:45-46 when I entered this, and my window is about 8:45 to 9:45. So I could have entered at this candle for sure. I only waited one more candle so I could get a re-entry better entry point. So it was within my window. So every rule that I have was hit. That was the goal for this month. Obviously, I want to get 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10 setups. And we did just that. I mean, we can't control the outcomes of these trades. We can only control our inputs and our process execution. And we did just that. Yes, we're on a 6-loss streak. We did get that one winning trade, which made $200, but I'm basically thinking of that as a break even. So in my mind, we're at a 6-loss streak. I'm not too upset about that. I mean, if my execution is perfect, what else can I do? I can't control if it's a win or a loss. If you have a coin, have a heads or tails coin, you're flipping it, you could get 15 losses in a row in even maybe 20 losses in a row, but after 100, 200, 300 flips, you're going to get an equal 50-50. So that's just the variance of it. I can't control the variance and how that lands for me with the winning streaks or losing streaks. Can only control the process execution, and we did just that today. So very, very happy with this loss. Obviously, don't want to lose money because we lost $500 today, but we're de-risked, and there's a reason for that de-risking. So can't be upset with where we executed today. So not sure what's going to happen from this point on. If we're just going to continue up, it showed like perfect bearish structure for me. I couldn't have really done anything else to get a better setup. So that's about it. It's about it that I can really say for today. We did not get a crazy move today. I mean, we got something decent to the upside, but it wasn't anything crazy. Only 840 ticks or whatever moved today so far. But I mean, yeah, pretty solid. We did have I want to say PMI and Jolts openings today. And for Jolts job openings, I typically have a pretty solid win rate on those days just because of the extra volatility. So that wasn't anything negative for me. I do think the next 2 days are pretty light on news, and then Friday is non-farm. So I'm most likely not even going to trade or wake up to trade non-farm just because it's pretty low probability for my back testing. It doesn't really perform well for me. And then, especially being on a losing streak, I'm not trying to even lower the chances of the already losing streak. So I'm most likely just going to not even show up that day, depending on what the next 2 days have for me. But we will see what happens with those. So that's it for today. I'm going to, again, put in some serious work today. We had 3.5 hours of back testing done yesterday. We had about 2 hours of book reading, went to the gym, went on a run, and during the back testing did some serious data collection. Working on a drawdown rule currently on when to exit early. Today I did move the stop. We had the stop at the second 1 minute high, obviously, and then I moved it slightly lower to about 85% of that drawdown. And for some reason, if I would have hit full stop loss, I would have lost over 500, even though the limit order was for 500 risk. So that's whatever. But I mean, I'm just working on hopefully lowering the losses for my losing trades based off of how far into drawdown winning trades go, and just collecting data on that and checking out statistics and probability of moving stop losses the correct way without cutting losers or cutting winners. My gosh. So that is going to be it for today. Hope you guys do something yourselves to get better, put in some work. The work you're putting in today, you'll see the results of 6 months from now. You won't see it today. I already did my chances of making money on the day I lost money. So all the other work I do today is not going to make me money today, but in 6 months from now, I will see the results of it and it'll be worth it. So you got to think in that mindset and just keep grinding and know it'll pay off one day. Hope you guys have a good one. We will catch you in the next one. Peace.